You told us to stop. It's like,
Oh, come on, 3 of us. We'll
get ready for karate.
Nolan, you got them. Come on.
Ah, yeah.
Was moved out of your channel.
Now it's time to make. Oh wait, the channel's not monetized. Time to make no money.
Whoop-ham! The riches, here we come. Show me that YouTube money, daddy.
I'll be beating my wife in no time.
Can't say that. Cannot say that.
That's true. Pixel had a name called Beat My Wife, and he got banned off a lot of shit recently.
Pixel always gets banned.
I guess Capcom is releasing Resident Evil 3 remake.
Are you gonna buy it?
I guess. I didn't even really play 2 because I started playing it, and people were like, oh, we want to play through. And then other people were like, don't use the gameplay footage. And I'm like,
What?
yeah. Because like, you're spoiling.
so they want like an audio playthrough?
I don't
Is
know.
that what they want?
I got so confused, I just quit.
Don't use the gameplay footage. I see you on an audio playthrough. There's a door to my left here.
Don't
I'm
spoil
entering
it.
the door. There is a big man. He is gray. He's heading towards me. His name is called Anal Fister.
I hear the song X gonna give it to you. I'm worried.
He's gonna give it to you.
Apparently, this is funny. This is funny, dude.
What?
Like 2 or 3 days ago, there was like the Twitter hashtag, she's my president.
Oh, no,
Today,
okay.
Kamala Harris drops out of the 2020 presidential race. How many times do they have to have women run for presidency? And then chicks blow smoke up everybody's ass. Oh, it's so, it's inspiring. A woman's running for president. You have my vote. And then the bitch drops out a week later. How many times does this shit have to happen? It's the second time, dude. Fuck. But if I say that out loud, I'm an asshole.
I know. I have also many controversial opinions, which I probably should not say.
Don't worry. You can say them. I'll edit them out. And then YouTube will still demonetize us. Go.
Black people are whiny.
Okay. That's pretty risky. Next topic. Get out my topic bell. Resident Evil 3 will probably be great, but not that amazing.
Todd Howard needs to make Skyrim 2. Fallout New Vegas was the second best Fallout, next to Fallout 76.
Lies!
Alright, let's get back on track with your...
Gotta hunt down. We say so much bullshit.
I guess I quickly do an intro on how we're planning on doing these reviews from now on. I think it'll be... It's a newer format than at least the unusual format compared to what usual game journalists do. We're game journalists, by the way, now. Gundam has played the game. I have not.
I've just started the game. It's like an overview.
Okay, yeah, but you know more about it, and I am a possible customer and would like to know.
This
so I'll
is a
be
lie.
asking you questions about the game.
Zill
while you
refuses
also
to
give
play
your
the
2
game.
cents. I am trying to explain this format and you're ruining it. So go ahead. You called it Baby's First Dark Souls.
I did. This game, I've had it with it, honestly. Like, it's a nothing burger. That's what it is. It's a big, fat nothing burger. I know a lot of people are saying it's great, but for me, when I play it, I don't feel like I'm playing a Star Wars game. I don't feel like a Jedi. I don't feel like I'm strong with the Force. I'm not one with the shrubbery. I'm like this asshole kid who's got a robot in his back because you can't do a Star Wars story without some sort of robot now. If you look at all the movies, we have all these new Star Wars movies. There's always a fucking robot in the mix. Could someone be a robophobe for once? Is that too much? Oh, wait, there's a guy who flies a ship. He's slightly robophobic. You know, it's going to be a thing in the future.
You got like the Mandalorian with like Baby Yoda instead of a robot, mixing it up.
Like, well, any way you slice it, there's some sort of extra shit. The game is really just bland for me.
You called it Baby's First Dark Souls, and in what sense do you mean that? Like, it's hard, or...?
It's not really hard. Like, Dark Souls is hard but fair. I felt. Dark Souls is a lot like YouTube.
Okay, explain.
Well,
I mean, like, how it's Baby's First Dark Souls, not YouTube.
Okay, I was going to go right to YouTube.
It's like, we don't need to hear that. That's not what we're here for.
Like, you go in there, and it's got a dash mechanic. You have a stamina bar. You have a force bar, but your force bar is so small, it's like pointless. How come like Rey can use the force to like move ships and shit, and this asshole can only use the force enough to make you move a little slower, and then the second you hit them, they're beating your ass again. Like I'm like, slow down, Mr. Frog. I'm using the force. Then I hit the frog, and the frog unleashes hell upon me. And sometimes this shit's so janky, like I roll out of the way, and then the frog, like he's in a crouch position, right? But he's not moving his limbs. And the frog just hovers into the direction I rolled. There's no animation for the movement, and then it jumps on me. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this? The frog is using the force at that point. Oh my god.
Maybe they know something about the force that you don't.
Yeah. I'm forcing myself to play the game because someone gave us the money for it. I was like, well, it's a simple request. Why not?
Well, what did you enjoy about the game? What do you think are its pros?
Dude, I don't even have any fucking pros so far. There's also the bonfire bullshit, but it's like when you meditate, you sit and meditate, and if you rest, then all the enemies respawn. So the stormtroopers who you beat the ever-loving shit out of come back from the dead.
So that's very
And
Dark Souls-esque.
They have no memory of the ass whooping you just laid upon them. Then you got to go through it again. On top of that, the stormtroopers themselves, they have like a sort of Empire Strikes Back helmet, but the armor's Return to the Jedi, but the blasters, A New Hope. I'm sitting there like, does anybody do any quality control? This shit's all discombobulated. All of a sudden, scout troopers use batons and not guns. When did this happen? Why are scout troopers walking around with fucking batons like jaded Asian cops in China beating up Hong Kong protesters? I'm like, liberation of our time! And the fucking scouts just like, shut the fuck up!
The Star Wars is actually just a rendition of Hong Kong's protest.
Oh my god. And all the shit you unlock is pretty trash. Like the lightsabers, dude. The fucking lightsabers mean nothing. All the stuff, like, I get excited. I'm like, oh, I've got lightsaber parts. My inner Star Wars nerd comes out. It's like, I will now use crystals that will be more in tune with the Force. And I will, oh, the lightsaber just changes colors. Oh, I can kind of make it look like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Does this give me any benefits? And the game's like, no. Do you like your little trinkets? And I'm like, no, I don't. And it's like, well, fuck you. This frog's going to kill you again.
The frog's back.
Yeah, the frog is like my worst enemy right now. He's the bane of my existence. I leave a shitty Jedi temple. I'm sliding. Oh, there's fucking Tomb Raider elements. If I fall down another thing where I'm sliding on my ass like Lara Croft, I'll scream. It's like you fall down, you slide, and I'm like, this isn't Star Wars. This is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Except the difference is if you crash into something, it just sort of breaks. But in Tomb Raider, if you crash into something, a spike goes through Laura's head. So at least there's some sort of urgency, like, please, God, don't let me fuck this up. Whereas with this, I'm just like, whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
So, do you think it's more Tomb Raider-esque than actually Star Wars-esque?
Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm playing Uncharted Tomb Raider Edition Dark Souls Force.
Okay.
It's like a mixture of all this shit. You got Tomb Raider elements, you got Uncharted elements, and you got a whole lot of Dark Souls. Except at least in Dark Souls, I could get weapons that like were stronger, you know? You get a weapon that did more damage. It's like it doesn't fucking matter.
Is it purely cosmetic?
It's all cosmetic.
All?
Your lightsaber is just a cosmetic item. It can do nothing else.
Is it not maybe later in the game?
Let's hope, because I'm not finding it now.
Okay.
And I highly doubt it, because I found a whole bunch of pieces for my lightsaber, and it just doesn't fucking matter right now.
No, and you said something about the bonfire is like, that's pure Dark Souls.
It's 100% Dark Souls. It like disgusted me. I'm like, what if I want to play something like Dark Souls, I play Dark Souls. At least it like functioned better in the combat.
Is it explained why, or at least why the stormtroopers come back?
No, it just goes, the enemies respawn when you rest. That's the only explanation you get. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's a bit weird.
It's
how's
kind
it
of like
technically?
technically,
sorry.
I hate some of the character animations for the main character when he runs. It looks so weird. Like Shenmue 3 has bad animations. But Shenmue
Black
3,
leather jacket.
yeah, exactly. But Shenmue 3 is like a mess of a guy who hasn't designed a game like that in years, still doing the same shit. And it's like, dude, it's not 2000 anymore. And what are you doing with Shenmue? They should have gave me a call. Hello, Gundam. You come to Japan, shave Shenmue. And I'm like, I will be there tomorrow, Rio. I will save you from yourself.
Gundam, will you come to Japan tomorrow?
Yes, I'll save the game.
That's probably how it'll go.
Like, I was watching DSP play it. I'm like, what have they done? Oh my god, my head. I need my Tylenol.
You said the story was also pretty subpar.
The story means nothing to me. It's like,
What's the
it's the
story
same
about?
shit. Oh! Random Jedi comes back. At least, like, this guy has some sort of backstory. At least it's not like Rey, where he just naturally has a force. You find out after Order 66, this Padawan survived and lived in a junky-ass town. Then he uses the Force once, and somehow, across the galaxy, the Empire finds out. It's fucking stupid. All right? There are people who are Force sensitive their whole lives. Just because you moved a cracker doesn't mean, Darth Vader sending the entire fucking team after him. Also,
Darth Vader's having seizures on his bed when he push the pebble. There's somebody out there.
Exactly. Like, oh my god, my brain. I forgot my point because it's just like there's so much here. Oh, also, the people chasing you are called Inquisitors. So I'm getting like, why do they have to be called the Inquisitors? Because it's an EA game, Inquisitor, then I think about the Dragon Age game. That's just name only.
Do you think they actually accidentally copy pasted that?
Copy pasted the name idea. What do we call them? The Inquisitors. It really feels
One guy
like...
leans over, is like, "We've already used that for another game."
Oh, well, who cares? Nobody cares about BioWare anymore. We'll Respawn. It feels a lot
Okay.
like a game that takes elements from other games and puts them into this game. And it doesn't really implement them all that amazingly. It's an alright game, but it feels like a hodgepodge of ideas taken from other places. In and of itself, it seems like it robs the game of its identity, because all you can think of, I've played these game mechanics before in other places, and they're better implemented because those games circled around that game mechanic.
Does it offer anything new in its own place, at least?
No, not that I
Any
can fucking
mechanic
tell.
you're like, "Oh, wow, that's neat."
No, definitely not. I'm not getting any feelings or vibes. Even lightsaber duels feel nothing. It feels like just a lot of hacking and slashing. Normal
like
attack,
Skyrim.
normal. Hard attack. Yeah. It's like, why didn't they take cues from the Jedi Order? Those old games. Jedi Knight and shit like that. I can't remember it correctly right now.
Yeah, I
But-
know which ones you mean.
Yeah, those really old ones that circled around lightsaber battling, but he also used a blaster because, it made some feasible sense to use a blaster in a lot of gunfights versus a fucking lightsaber. But they could have, really expanded upon the Jedi lore. They could have expanded upon lightsaber duels. They could have expanded upon the Force in and of itself. This character just touches shit, and he's such a Force sensitive that he can touch something, and then he'll learn about it. He'll, basically have a time warp to watch people doing shit, or he'll learn how to play a guitar just from touching it. Oh, I felt the echo in the Force from you playing this guitar. I am now Yingwei Malmsteen.
Isn't
It's-
that pretty much like Star Wars lately? It's just sort of like, they don't need training. They're good enough. Here they go.
That
same
is
with
Star
Rey.
Wars lately, honest to God. Like, now Baby Yoda can use the Force, and people are like, see, it's the misogyny. Nobody questions Baby Yoda using the Force. And it's like, well, we have reason to believe that their species are very Force sensitive, but they're a sequestered species hidden far away. So getting your hands on one is hard. But on top of that, it's also a little baby doing this shit that's 50 years old, and as well as being written by modern assholes. So yeah, of course, Baby Yoda's going to use the Force because they're sitting there going, well, Rey can already use the Force without trading. What if Baby Yoda could use the Force? It'll be funny and cute. Because that's as far as these cocksuckers think. Nobody sits there and goes, you need to learn it. You don't get inside of a fucking car and all of a sudden you're Dom from Fast and the Furious.
Doesn't sound good so far.
I'm sure for a person who loves Star Wars, it's fine. It's probably a great game if you want to kill time. If you like backtracking, that's good too. But that shit annoys the fuck out of me. Where it's like, I see, I'm looking at a wall and I'm like, you can wall run this because Respawn has wall runs everywhere. I try to wall run and fall to my death. So then I have to go through the fucking map to the area where all of a sudden you have a flashback to your teacher teaching you wall running. And it's like, so now this motherfucker remembers the wall run here, but he couldn't remember it down the block. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Okay.
It's dumb. So now, I'm guessing through the game, all those areas that I can't reach now, I will later play through the game in the story mode. And all of a sudden, he'll remember his master. And oh, I can now double jump. I remembered. Wish I figured out double jumping on that first planet.
Okay. You also mentioned that exploring is pretty worthless, even though the maps are pretty big.
Well, exploring isn't worthless. It's just designed to get you to like come back to stages. I think it's to increase replay value. Oh, come here and look for these secrets. Unlock all these little knickknacks. And for me, I don't give enough of shit. The story isn't enthralling enough. It's the same shit. Oh no, the Empire is evil. We have to rebuild the Jedi Council. Yay!
Okay.
That's pretty much the story. We're going to find these Force-sensitive children. Now, see, the funny thing is, right? They realize this cocksucker used the Force once. The Empire comes to get him. Meanwhile, these Force-sensitive people that have been living their whole life somehow using slight Force have gone unnoticed by the Empire. And the Empire needs this holocron. It's like, well, we could find you for some... It's like fucking YouTube, dude. Like, they could find me taking a fart crooked. But meanwhile, this gay kid who's like 18... Remember I showed you that guy who's making YouTube videos where he's living with his older boyfriend who's like 60 and buys him all this shit?
Yep.
And it's all monetized. That's fine. This gay dude in a bathtub, this 18-year-old rolling around with a fat homosexual. Monetization. This is good content. This is what we need.
This is what brands want to be associated with.
This is perfect to launch Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Meanwhile, I pull out a puppet. I'm in trouble.
He's got the puppet again.
Whoa, is that a puppet simulating masturbation? Technically, he's scratching his leg. DSP taught me that. Demonetized. We can't launch Disney Plus on puppets. You idiot. We need young, flagrantly homosexual boys kissing old, nasty men for Corvettes. YouTube loves me.
I can see that. I guess the last part is did we talk about the story?
Yeah, I just
that
basically
the story
said
was very cutty.
It's like, I used the Force once. The Empire's here. Oh no, I must go on an adventure. Oh, black woman from Mad TV that seems to be in every motion cap video game now. I didn't even touch on that. Like, everywhere I turn, it's this black chick. She's in Modern Warfare. She's in this. She's got these big-ass buggy eyes. She looks like an alien herself. Those are some huge eyeballs. How the fuck does a human have eyes stick out that far? Whatever. She just comes, randomly saves you. Then you're on this journey. Oh, we need the Jedi holocron. It has the power to find all these magic children. All this is going on, and meanwhile, you don't know what's... Like, when is the timeline? I know it's in the original trilogy. It's between A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, I'm guessing.
Wait, so there's this thing that can find Force-sensitive children, and the Empire doesn't have it?
Basically, yeah, they don't have it. Like, this Jedi was pretty much like Google and YouTube. He, like, collected all the data and information on these Force-sensitive children and tried to sell them Jedi Council ads.
Okay. Good analogy, I guess.
Thank you. And now it's your job to get this stupid holocron so you guys can rebuild the Jedi Order, which is weird because a black chick says she cut herself off from the Force. All right, whatever. Except somehow she finds you using the Force. So if she doesn't have ability to use the Force, how the fuck does she know you're using the Force? Whatever. And a Padawan who, as far as Jedis goes, this guy kind of sucks dick. I mean, I'm sorry. His whole thing sucks. I could walk on poles like exactly like Tomb Raider. The animations are damn near identical. Except at least in Tomb Raider you had to hold your balance and this you could just run across the pole. He ain't gonna fall. And he barely has any Force powers except for when he remembers shit like Force amnesia. How would they build the Jedi Council?
Maybe you should do a comparison. Like Tomb Raider walking on the thing and...
Oh, God.
And that's a lot of work.
Yeah. I need pills. I've been exposed to a lot of cancer today, Ziltex. I watched some Udemy videos from Zombie Unicorn where she teaches you to be successful on Twitch on YouTube. It really zapped my brain. Where's my medicine?
Where's my medicine?
I guess I'm going to have to just drink some alcohol.
That's all we talked about. I mean, you've not gone that far in the game, so I guess that's all you know. Is there any gun gameplay, or are you literally just running around with
all lightsaber?
All lightsaber.
And the stormtroopers are retarded in this. Stormtrooper watches you knock back the beam from the gun, kill the other stormtrooper. The rest of them stand there and look. They're like, okay, keep shooting him. This guy can deflect our bullets and kill us with our own shots. Keep firing. There's like no intelligent AI there. And some of it's just cheesy, like I said with the frog. An enemy can literally, you see it turn red. It's an unblockable. That's to let you know. You roll out of the way, but if you roll too early, the frog just kind of hovers over the ground because there's no animation for him changing direction with his little legs. He just stays in that pose and spins and then jumps on you. It's disgusting. They did fix the magnetic tongue where the frog would shoot his tongue at you, and I've watched people complain about this on Twitter, and the dude would completely dodge it. Then he played in slow motion, and his character would stop animating and this slide right into the tongue. It was like, what the fuck is this, Respawn?
So, let me get this straight. I know this is a bit off topic, but they got the Titanfall, Legends to make a single-player game, and they got BioWare to make a multiplayer game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The epitome of fucking stupid. Like, there's so much that I felt would have made the game more enthralling. I really don't care about what's going on. That's what's sad. Like, it doesn't feel like a Star Wars game. It just feels like a game that ripped off ideas from other games and then threw a Star Wars skin on it. And I'm supposed to jizz my pants because it isn't 100% horrible like Battlefront 1 and 2 were. They should have done more to like sort of delve into the religion, the belief system, the morality of it, and then give the player the ability to choose their destiny more so than what you got going on. Something that would give you a better appreciation of the Force and Star Wars as a whole. What this game suffers from is what all of these companies suffer from now. It's the fact that you have people who know Star Wars, but don't know Star Wars, making games and movies.
Yeah, they know Star Wars is lightsabers and the Force and blasters.
Exactly. That's it. That's exactly what we got here. A game
and robots.
Yeah, that's it. We've literally got people who understand elements of it, but don't understand the nature or reasoning behind it. And they're just sort of shitting out crap because consumerism. As long as something isn't, blanketed in microtransactions when it comes from EA, people feel good. It's like, oh, the game doesn't have a shit ton of microtransactions. Okay, good. And everybody's all high off Respawn. But let's face it. Respawn, Titanfall 1, good game. Titanfall 2, great single player. Multiplayer is shitty. Actually.
I wouldn't say it's shitty. It's just it suffered from the exact same problems one had, which is lack of content.
And the multiplayer for the first one was better.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, because that was new.
Well,
it was fresh.
It was a better game. Like, Titans don't feel like Titans anymore.
They added...
See, what Respawn has a problem with now is identity issues. Like, with Titanfall 2's online, they added elements from Overwatch when you got in your Titan, remember? Press Q for your super ultimate. And all this other stupid shit. It's like they saw what was popular and immediately hopped on it. And it's the same thing with this. Nothing is original if all of its ideas are lifted. It's a giant copy pasta with a Star Wars skin. God damn, I gotta keep my Tylenol in here. Just thinking about it makes my brain hurt.
Well, I guess that's your review.
My overview, yeah.
Final score out of 10?
Right now, it's fucking mediocre as fuck in my book. It's a 5, dude.
Well, there you go. A 5 out of 10.
His first impressions, which will probably be the last impressions, because honest to God, Zill's not going to play it. I was like, Zill, play it. He's like, nope. Not buying any EA games.
Unless EA comes out with a very exceptionally interesting game that's not a copy-paste, they probably will not. Sorry.
So I like subjected myself to this, and I've been playing it, but I just can't be bothered to care. It's like, okay, wall running. Oh no. You sneaky guys respawn more wall running. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. This is fun. This is more story that pretty much feels like nothing to me.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Goodbye, children.
Nothing more to say. Goodbye, everybody.